an insatiable 4-year-old.
He would eat the cat food, the dog food.
Even 18 eggs at one meal until one day.
He stopped breathing. I did CPR in the car.
Was his mother to blame?
I think she was angry, enraged, was wanting to punish him.
Or is it a medical mystery?
I just thought that as soon as they heard my whole story that they were going to believe me.
What happened to Andrew? And now, John Stossel and Elizabeth Vargas.
He was a lonely little boy who finally got the family he always wanted. But his new life lasted just 4 short months.
Was this 4-year-old a victim of his own mother? Or is what happened to him a medical mystery? Juju Chang with a case that has many bizarre twists.
What are you looking for, Andrew?
I'm looking for that.
All Andrew Bird ever wanted was a family to call his own. All Hannah and Larry Overton ever wanted was a home filled with children.
I wanted 3, and she wanted 6, and so we're at 5 now, so I guess she's winning.
The devout Corpus Christi couple fell in love as young missionaries. They started a family, but always talked of adopting. When the Overtons met Andrew in 2006, it seemed like the perfect fit.
We knew that there were a lot of kids out there that didn't have, as we told our kids, mommies and daddies that loved them.
4-year-old Andrew had been born to a meth addict and placed in foster care at the age of 2 due to abuse and neglect. His foster mother attended the same church as the Overtons, so Andrew got to know the kids through Sunday school.
My girls said, well, Andrew's praying for a forever mommy and daddy, you know, and a forever family.
At the time, Hannah and Larry had 4 biological children: Isaac, age 8, Isabel, 6, Allie, 5, and Sebastian, 2. The young family lived off Larry's modest salary from a landscape lighting business, but they made it work. She homeschooled. He built furniture. Even though Hannah became pregnant with a 5th child, they volunteered to become Andrew's forever family.
I guess for us, it was very exciting to be able to give that love to somebody who needed it.
It's your trusting God to move.
Pastor Rod Carver and his wife Noreen noticed an immediate change in Andrew.
If you saw him around the church, Andrew was always with his brothers and sisters.
Andrew would tag along on Larry's feet all the time. Every time I would see him, he would just be right behind him, just right on his feet.
But within a few weeks of Andrew moving into their home, Hannah and Larry say they began to see some odd behavior.
I started noticing that he was hoarding food, that he was stealing off the other kids' plates, wanting to eat more, getting upset when mealtime was over.
Describe when you caught him eating things, inappropriate things.
Anything, hair, anything that he found, he would try and put in his mouth. He also would eat the cat food, the dog food, out of the trash can.
Despite their concerns, the Overtons hoped Andrew's habits would improve with time.
And I had also been told by our caseworker that, adopted children will have problems.
So you gave him a break?
Yeah.
But Andrew's behavior never changed. According to the Overtons, it got worse. Obsessive eating, excessive tantrums. Just 4 months after Andrew moved in, the unthinkable happened.
He was throwing a fit for quite a while, and then he threw up.
Then Andrew stumbled to the floor, complained of being cold, and started shaking. Hannah says she suspected the flu and asked her husband to come help. She wrapped Andrew in blankets and tried to warm him up.
He still continued to say he was cold. My husband and I put him in a warm bath.
The Overtons say it wasn't until an hour and a half later that they saw no improvement in his condition. This was no flu.
He was breathing kind of congested. It's kind of like a gurgly sound in the back of his throat, and he was moaning.
They put Andrew in the car and raced to the hospital.
Why didn't you call 911?
It was an option, but I felt like I could get him to the hospital quicker than 911 could.
Then, the Overtons say Andrew's condition suddenly went from bad to worse.
Within yards of the urgent care center, he stopped breathing. And I did CPR in the car.
When he arrived at the clinic, Andrew's condition was critical. Blood tests revealed Andrew had salt poisoning, with the sodium level almost double the norm, among the highest levels ever recorded. Dr. Edgar Cortez treated Andrew that day.
I've never seen a sodium that high in anyone. If you take salt at a level faster than your body can remove it, your sodium level will go up. It can cause brain swelling and convulsions, and then eventually death.
Hannah told doctors Andrew ate condensed soup with this, Zatarain's Creole seasoning. After 2 bowls, he wanted more. But instead, Hannah says she offered him a sippy cup like this of water with a few sprinkles of the seasoning.
And so my thought was that I would calm him down, appease him, give him like a broth without giving him a tummy ache from eating more food.
But that story didn't add up to the medical staff. One doctor calculated it would take at least 23 teaspoons to get Andrew's sodium level that high. And there was something else suspicious, unexplained bruises and scratches on Andrew's body.
The medical staff had obviously been alerted, saw something, said, hey, we need the police here.
Corpus Christi Police Detective Michael Hess got the call that day. As their son lay in a coma, Hannah and Larry were taken here to police headquarters for questioning.
It's extremely, extremely important how he behaved, what he did, and then what measures you took.
I think I already did.
Well, okay, because there must be some things missing.
All she said was chilly, and he just took 2 steps and said he was cold and fell. Well, that doesn't make sense.
Did you think that maybe we need to call the emergency medical people?
That's what we were trying to decide, and then we just decided it'd be quicker just to run up to the emergency thing on the corner.
Why didn't it occur to you to call 911? I mean, that just seems like the automatic thing.
I don't know.
You're sitting there watching this child dying, and you don't do anything. How do you do that? I don't understand that.
The toxic levels of sodium caused Andrew's brain to swell and his organs to shut down. On October 3rd, 2006, the day after he was admitted to the hospital, Andrew Bird died.
How did you learn of his death?
We had been told that we couldn't come back to the hospital, so we sent my mom and my stepdad and my pastor up there, and we sat with him.
There was a reason Hannah and Larry were banned from Andrew's bedside. To investigators, the Overtons weren't grieving parents, they were prime suspects. At the Overtons' home, odd conditions. Andrew's mattress outside, his favorite Spider-Man bed sheets burnt on the grill, a camera pointed at a bare plywood bed.
Every night my mom watches it until we see him fall asleep, and then to make sure he doesn't do bad things.
I said, wait a minute. Maybe there's something going on here.
What was going on in the Overton home that day? And just what happened to little Andrew? Stay with us.